It's the Pakistani game of drones that is unfolding on the borders of India, especially Punjab and Jammu. BSF, Border Security Force, has time and again showed and remarkably shut them down, have shut them down and have brought them down in order to nab the consignment that it carries. Now, Pakistan is actively devising new schemes against India, and with the use of drones, the ISI is also delivering weapons and drugs in Jammu and Punjab. Malik Mohd Ahmad Khan, the Special Assistant on Defense and a close aide to Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, admitted that Pakistan is using drones for cross-border drug smuggling. Day after day, we see reports on how the BSF is downing these drones and confiscating the weapons and drug haul. Here's a look at News9 Plus special documentary on Pakistan's rogue drones. You can watch the full documentary on News9 Plus app as well. It's available for download on Android and iOS operating systems. Take a look.
At the crack of dawn, two Pakistani operatives are preparing for a mission. Their objective is to dispatch a consignment of drugs and weapons. While the package gets ready, a high-tech drug mule is getting assembled. It's now time for action. The consignment is clipped, and with the push of a joystick, it vanishes in the sky.
We are walking along the India-Pakistan international border, 3,000-kilometer border that stretches from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab up to Jammu and Kashmir. But in the last 3 years, the sky above this has become a conflict zone. Yes, you heard it right. Close to 300 drones have infiltrated India, and this drone menace doesn't seem to end here.
2019 में जब अगस्त के महीने में आर्टिकल 370 को एब्रोगेट किया गया, तब से मूवमेंट ड्रोन के कभी कभार देखे गए पंजाब में। तो इनिशियल में जब इनका मूवमेंट हुआ तो ये लगा कि संभवतः ये एरिया की रेकी के लिए और इलाके के फोटोग्राफ लेने के पर्पस से इसका इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। लेकिन जब 2020 में ये कंफर्म हुआ कि ड्रोन की एक्टिविटी का इस्तेमाल आर्म्स और ड्रग स्मगलिंग के लिए भी किया जा रहा है, तब ये पूरा पता चला कि इसका इस्तेमाल किस पर्पस के लिए ओरिजिनली किया जा रहा है।
पुराने टाइम में जो स्मगलिंग होती थी वो ऊँट के ज़रिए, घोड़े के ज़रिए, एनिमल के ज़रिए ये फंडा इस्तेमाल करते थे। फिर धीरे धीरे जब से तार लग गई है बॉर्डर पे, पहले से अब ज़्यादा एडवांस तार लग गई है, डबल फेंसिंग हुई है, तो उसकी वजह से काफ़ी चेंजेस आ रहे हैं स्मगलिंग करने के। फिर पीछे से पाइप से स्टार्ट हो गई थी, अब नया टेक्नोलॉजी है, जैसे ड्रोन है, तो अब ड्रोन से एक्टिविटी बढ़ गई है।
In the last 3 years, drone drops have tripled. In 2020, 79 drones were sighted. In 2021, 109 drones were sighted. And 2022, 304 drones were sighted.
Drone technology that is being used to do aerial cinematography, capture beautiful moments in the weddings, spray pesticides in various villages. That is a technology that is being misused in this case. This is a kind of an asymmetric warfare that's happening in the country, and especially a misuse of a technology that is having tremendous potential.
The numbers of drone crossings that we are seeing overwhelmingly are to drop small payloads, often of what you would call composite consignments, which is drugs and weapons, or weapons and money. What the drone brings into warfare is the complete absence of reciprocity. You are no longer fighting. Using drones is an act of, shall we say, adaptation. You could even say desperation on the other side.
Meanwhile, a drone takes off from the enemy side. The mission: take drugs and weapons to an undisclosed location on the Indian side. At a height of 100 meters, the drone crosses the international border, avoiding the constant vigil of the border security force. The drug mule moves towards the drop zone.
So there you saw a glimpse of how Pakistan operates as far as drug mules through drones are concerned. The extensive report we will be bringing to you at the end of this program, and you can also go to News9 Plus. It's an app that you can download on your phone, your laptop, your tablets, and use it, be it Android or iOS. News9 Plus app has this show also, Pakistan's rogue drones. Why are we bringing you this show today? Because in a very specific and surprising incident, one person named Malik Mohd Ahmad Khan, the Special Assistant of Defense and a close aide of Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, has admitted that Pakistan is using drones for cross-border drug smuggling. And this is not surprising to many, especially for the Indian side, for the BSF. But obviously, Pakistan now is using the drone technology for all its nefarious intentions, nefarious means. And Wajiullah, my colleague who traveled, who brings us these visuals from the border area between India and Pakistan, he actually got the first-hand experience of how this whole racket is being run, and how Pakistan is sending weapons and drugs into the Indian side. BSF jawans there and officers scouting through the fields which dot both sides of the border. There you see the fencing, the international border between India and Pakistan, and this is the drone basically which the BSF has shot down. And look at the size of the drone there and the consignment it carries, the yellow bag there, all of them. Clear testament to the fact what Pakistan is up to. Such nefarious intentions, obviously, to destabilize the youth of India, to put guns into their hands instead of pen and pencil, or for that matter a job. And this has been going on for a long time. The statistics that we showed you just now by way of graphics also gives you the frequency of these drone sightings, drone spottings, and also the way it is brought down. So obviously now it remains to be seen how and when Pakistan is called out for in this regard, because time and again India has given sufficient proof, and it has made it clear that yes, Pakistan is using unconventional methods now. Infiltration we have seen happening in Jammu and Kashmir, through the porous border using and these are the visuals from Jammu and Kashmir. As I've been told, a drone flying overhead. Obviously, drones can be fit with these days with anything, with weapons, with cameras, with consignment, and the size of the drone also depends and gives you how long the flight could be. Obviously, transcending through the barriers above, flying above the barbed fences that have been put. All those things obviously not coming handy. There you see in 2020, 79 drones were sighted from the Pakistani side. 2021, the number almost up by its half, 109 drones sighted. 2022, 304 drones sighted. And obviously going by this proportion, needless to say, when 2023 figures would come up, they would certainly be more than what we have. Wajullah, my colleague, joins us from Bengaluru, though. He filed this report and now, Wajullah, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. No doubt, I mean, you have shifted cities, but one thing that seems that only has aggravated is this Pakistan's drone menace. I call it Pakistan's game of drones. But little do they know that every time they are losing this game. What did you see there when you filed this story? How is it this whole operation goes? Please share with us.
This report that you showed today is something that we did earlier this year, and when we visited Fazilka and the neighboring borders of Abhor and Firozpur, where the frequency of these drones are rampant. We visited Amritsar and we spoke to the BSF Jawans who are deployed over there and how they tackle this menace. Now that you pointed out these drones and the size of these drones, so these BSF Jawans told us that these are your regular drones which you would use in your agricultural farming or or on these big scale mapping this thing. And most of these drones that they have seized are Chinese-made drones that you can get it from any website on the dark net or the Chinese market. And these drones that they have captured could have the value of close to 5 to 10 lakh rupees. Whereas the product that comes out from these drones, the drugs that are coming from these drones, have an international value of close to 50 crores or 60 crores. So you can understand that how a 10 lakh drone is helping you get a product worth 50 crores or 60 crores in the international market. Now, the BSF Jawans who I spoke to over there clearly told us that as of now, it's very difficult for the agencies to put the anti-drone systems. Why? There are anti-drone systems that are there. They are working on a lot of equipments that have come from the DRDO and from various different agencies that are working on this. But it is difficult for the BSF Jawans to track those drones through those systems. So what the Jawans do is they are deployed at every half a kilometer from the border, from their post till the end of the border where their post can go. They are deployed at every 500 meters or every 400 meters. There is 2 Jawans who are deployed. And their job initially is to keep a visual on what is happening over there. And it is only through the sound of these drones is when the first alarm bells ring to the BSF Jawan that there is a drone that is infiltrated. And then the drone moves inside the country, it infiltrates more deeper inside the area. And then the Jawans are made to follow these drones. Now, most of the time what happens is because of dark clouds or in the time of the night is when these drones are set so that they cannot be spotted. Earlier, there used to be a flickering light through which the Jawans used to spot these drones because it used to be at the below of the drones. Now what has happened is that they are covering these lights also. Because they're covering these lights, they are not able to see the light. It's only through the sound that they're tracking these drones. And after they hear the sound, they make sure that they follow it and they fire rounds they fire rounds to bring the drones down. And if the drone is not shot down, it must have dropped a payload somewhere or the other. So a checkpoint is created in various parts of that area where there could be a possibility of the person who's picking up the drone, the drugs, the smuggler who's picking up the drugs, he can be caught. So these are the preparations that the BSF does. Now, the frequency at which the drones are coming, you already told our viewers the frequency at which they're coming. The data that I have been given about this year, so we have not got any data with regards to the number of drones that have entered. The 304 figure that we showed about 2022 was the number of drones that entered India. These are not the drones that were captured by the Indian agency. These are drones that entered. The number of drones that were captured by the Indian agencies have been 22 last year. And this year we have caught 33 drones so far. So in the last 6-7 months, we have managed to catch 33 drones that have infiltrated. And these drones carry weapons, they carry grenades, they carry drugs. So you can clearly understand what is the idea behind using these drones. Because if there are drones that are coming in these numbers, then it's not just 2-3 smugglers that are on the other side of the border. It clearly shows that there is the hand of the state which is backing it, and that is why they're able to infiltrate so many drones in the country.
Right, Wajul, quite elaborate description of how it is done and where it is done. Why is it done? To discuss that, we are joined by PK Mishra, former ADG, BSF, and former Additional Director, SPG. Mr. Mishra, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And as it would happen, you and I share the same name. At least I also call myself PK Mishra for Pankaj.
Lovely, nice.
Yes. But what we are discussing is a common problem also, once again, as far as India and other bordering areas are concerned. Pakistan's attempts to actually dismantle and dislodge the peace process in India to obviously support the extremists on the Indian side. This, the game of drones that has been going on for such a long time. You have served in BSF. Was this a common phenomena for a long time, or is it a new phenomena? And secondly, how is BSF tackling this?
You see, Mr. PK Mishra.
Yes, Pankaj Kumar Mishra. Yes.
This is a new phenomenon. I can tell you about the use of drones. This is for the last about 3 years maximum. And earlier drugs, I know Pakistan used to send drugs to Punjab maximum through Gurdaspur border, and sometimes if they are not successful, they go through Jammu border, because from Jammu border, the national highway is hardly 5 kilometers, and from there it comes to Pathankot and to Punjab. The worst part of it, maximum drugs, they are coming. They have already come for the last few years to Punjab. Pakistan is bent upon finishing our youths of Punjab, and this is another tactic they are operating, because it is another war on. It's a technical war against India to destroy our youths. And they were successful to some extent. Now, for the last 3 years, drones are carrying drugs, efficient, and also weapons, light weapons and grenades and aides, improvised explosive devices they are carrying. And the drones which are coming through Punjab, they are crossing Punjab. Mostly they bring drugs.
Okay.
And I will tell you. In fact, this year at Amritsar, there were 2 of our lady constables who could fire on a drone, and they brought it down.
Lovely.
And thanks to our ladies, also Mahila Karmis, and they are doing their best. I can well tell you these drones are stealth drones, mostly provided by China, and they are carrying drugs even at night, because with the it is being now BSF is facing problem, because you see these equipments which they are having it through DRDO, it's very difficult to trace these drones. Mostly physically they are watching it, and they fire on it, they bring it down, and immediately they search, and in some cases they follow this intentionally to find out where it lands, and so that the person who will be coming to pick up the drugs, he is also apprehended.
Right.
But even if about 33 to 35 drones were brought down by BSF, I can well tell you it may be about 10 times more which might have come to Punjab border. Now, the drones which are coming to, from Pakistan through LOC, particularly Kashmir and Jammu, they are bringing weapons, IDs and grenades, Chinese grenades, and light weapons they are carrying. Whatever has happened there in Punch and all, these drones are carrying arms also, and they are providing to the sleeper cells. And these drones, there are two ways. The drones, they come, they land, and they get smashed there itself. They are being brought down and they smash itself. There are drones, after dropping, it goes back also. Because there are high flying drones, there are low flying flying drones, because they come with a great speed, they drop and they go back also.
Right.
So the handlers are there within about half a kilometer of the border, and they operate it. They operate it up to 5 kilometers, so that it can travel 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers inside coming India, and to go back also. But in most of the cases, BSF is successful in bringing it down. But this menace will continue, I am very sure, because Pakistan cannot have a direct war. It's a proxy war they are fighting.
Absolutely.
And this proxy war is continuing with FIC and drugs in Punjab border. And I'm very sure BSF boys and BSF girls are doing extremely well, and they are quite vigilant. And I'm very sure that when Pakistan Prime Minister himself is admitting that we are sending drugs to India,
through
so
drones.
they keep on playing these games, and we have to fight it out. We have to fight it out.
We have to fight it out, and hats off, Mr. Mishra, to BSF, the Mahila Karmchari that you speak about. Our regards, our deepest gratitude to them and to the men out there at the borders, manning it and keeping us safe. Waji, not long ago, as you mentioned, you were also there along the India-Pakistan border. I, for one, have never seen it. I have been to Wagah, but that is you know, the flag ceremony that happens there every day. I have seen that, but being in a place like that, Wajiullah, what risks, I would say, both the smugglers and our BSF jawans take in order to capture the consignment that has come, the hunter and the hunted situation? How best is our team, the BSF team, equipped to man those 1,000 kilometers long borders along the states, crossing all the states? What is the plan? What is the strategy?
Well, when we landed there, this is one of the questions that I asked the forces over there. And from what I learned is that it is only India that has manned its border in such a tight security framework. If you see,
obviously India doesn't send anything that side.
And then you have a buffer zone of another 100 meters, and then you have the actual border, the Indian side of the border. But on the other side of Pakistan, you don't see any fencing or anything done. Now, there is a history of drug menace that comes from Punjab. It's not something that we're seeing from the last 3 years. The infiltration of drugs that are coming from Punjab is happening from a very long time. Before partition or after partition, you can say it used to come through the bordering areas, because it was not wired. There was no fencing that was done, and there used to be frequent trade that used to happen from there. People used to bring in a lot of things, and through that, drugs used to come in. Through that, weapons used to come in. So all these things we saw. The Khalistani movement is somewhere a testimony to the fact how weapons came in through the border. Through time, through technology, like how our phones get updated, the border also got updated. You then had fencing that was done. There were spots that were opened. So there used to be animal grazing that used to happen. So what we learned, that the smugglers used to fix drugs through the animals, because you would have this area is cold. So you would have furry animals, you would have sheep, you would have camels. So they would stick it to the belly of the camel or the goat, and they would cross the border. Then when fences came in, they used to bring big pipes. Through pipes, they used to insert it through one of the fence, and they used to put drugs on the other side and pour it on the other side. And there used to be somebody who used to collect these drugs. Then after that, they electrocuted these fencing. When the electrocution happened in these fences, you would, if you remember the Shahid Kapoor movie where they spoke about drugs and everything, where he showed people that drugs were thrown from the other side of Water.
Right,
that also
right.
happened.
Urta Punjab.
Urta Punjab, yes. After all these things, this is the new way in which Pakistan is trying to bring in drugs in the country. And drones. Like Sir also mentioned while he was speaking that 304 drones have been sighted. This is just a number of which we have seen. There could be so many drones that have gone and come in. The numbers could be in thousands. So when I spoke to one of the officials, he told me that in one of the drones that they captured, it's through these chips that are there in these drones, they get to know the frequency at which they are traveling and how many rounds that they have done. There are times that they've got to know that this is the 8th round in which the drone was shot down. It has already done 7 rounds of delivering these payloads. So you can imagine if 5 kg or 10 kg or 2 kg or whatever the amount of drugs that are coming in, if there are 6 rounds of that has come in, if there are 2 weapons that are coming in and 6 rounds have been done, then 12 AK-47 guns have come in, 12 grenades have come in, 12 magazines have come in. And if there are 5 kgs of drugs there in that, then 5 kg worth of drugs which may have an international market value of 20 crores or 25 crores have been bought in. So you can imagine a 5 lakh drone or a 10 lakh drone and the amount of drugs and weapons that it's getting in. And if 304 drones have gone by, how many number of weapons might have come in? It can actually start a war from India. So you clearly get an idea at which we are dealing this drone menace.
Indeed, indeed. Mr. Mishra, talking about drugs, talking about Pakistan, it would be illogical if we don't talk about Afghanistan, because most of the drugs are produced, when we talk about, this trade through Afghanistan. So, an Afghanistan which is not peaceful, a restive Afghanistan, it is risky for India, despite Pakistan being in between. Still, it is weaponizing that product from Afghanistan and using it against India. Now, as you mentioned, there is fake Indian currency also that is being smuggled, weapons also. In your opinion, in the larger view, how best it is that India can tackle this new age challenge? I mean, we have put up 6 feet long barriers, barbed fences, electrocuted them, but it's not helping. So in your learned opinion, sir, how do you believe that we should be tackling this particular situation? Mr. Mishra.
Yes, I can well tell you this menace has to be tackled, and it has to be tackled tactfully, though BSF is depending upon the NVDs and also handheld metal detectors and night vision devices, and also satellites, satellite communication, it is there. But I can well tell you new theories are coming up, and they are also making they are making various equipments for anti-drone equipments which are coming. Like till now we are not successful in for detection of tunnels. It is not, it is Punjab border, you have this drone menace. You go to Jammu border, it is a tunnel menace. So we are far behind. But these drugs are coming to Punjab through the drones, and it is not only Chinese drones. I can well tell you the drugs are also being supplied to Turkey drones. Turkey is also supplying drones. And you are correct. Pakistan is getting these drugs from Afghanistan, where it is produced, and this proxy war, this menace is continuing. Earlier, of course, the border was open and it used to come always, but now after the fencing has been made and the electrocution of the fencing was done also. But I'll tell you how they cross in a particularly dead night hours, and when it is cloudy and when the fog is there, you know, they are trained also. They cross the fencing through this rubber ladders. The rubber ladders are folded. They climb up in between two observation posts. Once the cloud is there in the darkness, they are trained how to climb up through rubber ladder and again to fold it, again bring it back to the Indian side and to drop and to go down. So this is the way one person can do it within maximum 12 to 13 seconds. They are also training their men like that. But that is a different issue. But see how to capture these drones. Of course, RP was training our eagles also at various locations. Eagles are being trained to capture those drones and to bring them down. But the best part of is anti-drone equipment. It is coming, though it will take another 1 year to come to come for all the BOPs. I hope all the BOPs will be having it, and by that time BSF is in fact they are quite they are guarding the fence like anything, and I'm very sure day and night they are having the observation and any drone now crossing. I just told you about Amritsar, how the Mahila Karmis, they were also successful in bringing down the drones. This action will continue by BSF, and even though till now DRDO has not supplied fully the anti-drone equipment, but any drone now coming from Pakistan, they will be traced. They will be traced by BSF and they will be brought down, or they will be followed, and a lot of smugglers, those are involved, which they will be captured. There is no doubt about that. And there is a cooperation between Punjab police and BSF also through communication. Even if it crosses 6 to 7 kilometers inside, but how quickly, which police post will immediately come to the help, that has also been practiced. And they will come to know where it lands and how quickly BSF or Punjab police can reach that particular place. There is a good coordination and they are doing their best. And I will tell you, for that, there is development of communication, not only road communication, but wireless communication, and that will help us. And the DRDO will definitely help us with anti-drone equipment, and the fight will continue. And even though they are getting the drones free of cost from China and Turkey, but I think our diplomatic relation with Turkey is now improving. It's a very nice thing I'm telling you. After Turkey,
after the earthquake,
yes, earthquake. It is India which came first.
True.
Mr. Modi wanted that we must go ahead to help an enemy. Now Erdogan will think twice as to whether he will supply these drones to Pakistan or otherwise. But even if he keeps on supplying also, we have to stop it. And
Mr.
we'll
Mishra,
stop it at the border.
we will stop it. Mr. Mishra, thank you so much for speaking to us. I'll take one final question from Wajullah. Wajullah, we have a minute, then we play the full documentary so that our viewers also get to know the intensity of the situation. Waji, your final words, your final expression, your thoughts, what you left with when you came back to Delhi after covering this whole scenario on the Indian borders.
One thing that I've observed, Pankaj, is that we've always been in the back foot when it comes to giving back, because we always find a deterrence before we unleash something. And drone being a very evolving technology, the government has to be very fast-paced when it comes to tackling it. They are working like Sir mentioned, Pankaj Sir mentioned that the DRDO is working, various agencies are working in finding this. And there are anti-drone technologies that have been deployed at various parts of the border. It's not easy for them to deploy it at the entire border because it's also a flight zone also. And these anti-drone systems can affect the flight frequencies also. So that is why it's been a lot of difficulties for the agencies to deploy it there. But
Right.
because this is an evolving menace, the government should make sure that they are ready to counter it even before it becomes a menace. So that is
Right.
one thing I would want the government to leave it that people should watch this documentary. They'll get a clear-cut idea. And there's no one who's done this documentary on rogue menace. We have people reporting about it on a daily basis, but it is we who went there at the border, saw those areas, saw how how BSF tackles it, and the limitations that we have, and the efforts that we are doing to tackle this menace. People should watch the documentary. They'll get a better idea of what we're talking
Right.
about.
Right, Mohammad Wajullah there. Thank you so much for joining us from all the way from Bangalore, and Mr. P.K. Mishra. It's a pleasure to have you, and trust me, it's my promise that it won't be, it's not just the first time here, but it won't be the last. We will be touching base more often on this
Anytime.
menace. Thank you, Waji. Well, there you had it. You heard it from Wajullah, Mohammad Wajullah, my colleague, who has witnessed this drone menace happening on the Indian borders. And then there were Mr. P.K. Mishra, who has served in the BSF and also in the SPG, giving his inputs. This documentary that we are bringing to you is available on News9 Plus. You can download this app and watch it on your phone, be it Android or iOS. This particular documentary tells you how Pakistan has been incessantly using drones to supply drugs, weapons and FICN, fake Indian currency notes, towards the Indian side. Take a look.
At the crack of dawn, two Pakistani operatives are preparing for a mission. Their objective is to dispatch a consignment of drugs and weapons. While the package gets ready, a high-tech drug mule is getting assembled. It's now time for action. The consignment is clipped. And with the push of a joystick, it vanishes.